Shelf space? Who needs shelf space? Let's talk about those new additions to the home library. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike back with another book haul, this time for March of 2025. Some lovely, lovely new additions to talk about here that we're going to be adding to the home library here at the good old Casa de Mike's Book Reviews. Guys, lots of amazing things we're going to talk about. We're going to kick it off like usual, talking about digital purchases. And yes, I'm still kind of in that limbo between my new Kobo and my not so old Kindle Colorsoft. I'm going to be talking about that very soon, guys. I'm still kind of getting used to what I like and don't like. I feel like it's a mixed bag right now for both of these, and I'm having a tough time making a decision. That's why that video hasn't come out yet. But those digital purchases, guys, I pick up a few things. I talked recently about some urban fantasy that I'm excited to try, and that's why I picked up Rivers of London, also kind of known as Midnight Riot, apparently. This is by ℚ𝕦𝕤𝕤𝕤, and this is a series that wasn't on that list, but it was from you guys' recommendations that said, I think this will be something that you like quite a bit. A little bit like Dresden Files, but it's also got kind of that Dungeon Crawler Carl kind of humor in it. Okay, that sounds interesting. So I went ahead and said, why not? I'll try book number 1 and see how it goes. Don't know when I would be starting that, but that does sound like something I would be into. So that's why I make videos like that, guys, so you will let me know what you think will work, what won't work. So something kind of slid off that list, and I think Rivers of London or Midnight Riot have actually kind of slid into that place. Another one that I talked about in that video is going to be The Hollows by Kim Harrison. Book number 1 here is called Dead Witch Walking. So I figured I would give this one a shot because this is the one that Buffy fans tell me the most that I will be into. So you got someone fighting vampires. Obviously, that's something I'm going to be interested in. Ever since I read Bram Stoker as a preteen, I've been interested in that concept, but you add a little urban fantasy into it during our time period. I think this one actually takes place on like a different timeline, right? Like a dystopian kind of timeline. I don't know. I may be getting all confused at this point, but it was the one that I think got the most feedback from Buffy fans that said they think that I would like that one. That will be happening probably at the earliest next year. But we'll see. You know, these things can kind of come quick and unexpected, and what happens, what happens. Speaking of things that come quick, how about death? And that always brings you to Larry McMurtry, because I am reading the Lonesome Dove series. I've read 3/4 of that now. And I said, I am ready to declare Larry McMurtry the greatest character writer I've ever seen, but I need to see how it works outside of the world of Lonesome Dove. And that's why The Last Picture Show, mistakenly called it the Lady Picture Show, which is a Stone Temple Pilots song. But Last Picture Show, I'm going to go ahead and pick that one up here because I think that sounds like him doing some coming of age, and I can't think of anyone that's as good of a character writer. I want to see how he does coming of age. Does he do it as good as Cy King? That's what I want to see. So that's the one that I did go with. But I think Brian Lee Durfee actually recommended this one to me the other day that is a Billy the Kid kind of story. So we're going to have Larry doing more Westerns. I'm interested. I think Larry's going to end up being an author I read a lot of books from before I shuffle off this mortal coil. That's a fun word to say. But that's what I got for it digital. Again, when I make a decision here about the Kobo, I'm going to talk about making the switch from Kindle to Kobo here soon and talk about why I'm not ready to move on from the Kindle at this point yet and kind of talk about where I stand with that. But how about some physical purchases for the month of March? My wife and I are taking our 15th wedding anniversary trip in June, and our vacation book that we are going to read together is going to be Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. I hope I'm saying that. I've never heard anybody actually say that name out loud. So if Kingsolver, that's how it looks. If that's not how it's pronounced, it's totally accidental. But with this, it's one of those books, it doesn't seem like it would be something I like, but freaking everyone recommends it to me. And you guys have been right on a lot of these recommendations lately, and it's a beefy little book. But it does sound like the type of book my wife would read, so we both have agreed to read this together on the beach in literal paradise here in June. Cannot wait to read it, and obviously I can't wait for that trip. That's very, very exciting. But this one, again, is off you guys' recommendations, so I went ahead and picked this up because it's going to happen here in June. I also talked recently how big of a Ronald Malfi fan I have become. After I read Black Mouth, I said, this is what I have been looking for in a modern horror author for years. This feels like my heir apparent to Stephen King. And I know that's a very, very daunting label to place on someone, but it's the first time I've gotten that vibe from any modern horror author. That's the old Stephen King classic vibe. That's what Black Mouth was for me. Now, I've read 2 of his crime fiction novels. I'm like, they're good, but I want to see him doing more supernatural horror, and that's why I picked up the books that I did. I picked up The Narrows, which I think is actually a vampire story, for real vampire story. Not is it not vampire story, but actual vampires. I might be wrong. I might get them mixed up. Bone White. These are 2 that get recommended quite a bit. This one, I don't know what these are about. I don't care. I'm going to probably read all of Ronald Malfi at this point. I feel like I got that Blake Crouch bug, or I'm going to go and read everything in his bibliography just because of how much I liked his first couple books that I read. And the one I'll be reading next month is Small Town Horror. So I picked up everything that they had at the used bookshop that I was at of Ronald Malfi and said those are where I'm going to be doing next. So again, I think this guy's going to be great. If I end up doing it and being like, okay, maybe Black Mouth was a one-hit wonder, maybe I got the wrong vibe. I'm just not seeing that because a lot of people are like, well, you like Black Mouth, you're going to really, really dig this one. So I'm excited to find out. So that'll be happening next month. So a little spoiler there for my next month's TBR video. This will be the one that I kick off the month with. And you saw me talk about it recently, guys. I did pick up the first book in Dungeon Crawler Carl. That is 100% because of you guys. And I loved it. I had a great time with it. And the question I'm getting now is, well, when do you do a book 2? Well, let's slow down, but I did really enjoy this quite a bit. Know that they're because it got purchased by, he started as an indie book and then it got purchased by an actual publisher, and now they're redoing them all in hardcover. Now apparently the paperbacks are actually hard to get a hold of, and the hardcovers are a little easier, but they are all like $20-25. So I'm like, maybe I'll buy one at a time. But now I've got that thing like I did with those Witcher reprints. I'm like, oh, is it gonna be one of those things where like they're hard to find in the future? So that's got me sweating a little bit because once you start collecting something in physical, you want them all to match and you want them all to be the same in uniform and all that stuff. But as far as that, I don't know. But I did like this enough that I'm going to try book 2 for sure. But as of right now, I only have just this first one. That's a pretty good physical month here for me. Like I said, a couple authors I was very, very excited about. And one read I'm be doing with the wife here. And that's going to be exciting times. But let's go ahead and take a look at some things I got from some authors this month, including some mystery boxes. What I always say about these guys, I may not be familiar with them. But what I'm going to do is show them to you here. I'm going to drop a link in the description down below, and you guys want to check out more, I do encourage you to do that because these authors probably do deserve your time. First is Frontier. This is by Nicholas Kane. Found out about my interest in some Larry McMurtry Westerns here. That's something I don't know if I'm going to explore more or not, because I've always said I'm not sure about Westerns, but I am very, very interested the way that Larry does it. So if someone says they're doing it like that, obviously it gets my attention. The Haunt on the Island of ℙ𝕦𝕣𝕠𝕠𝕜. This is by Justin Blair. Gives me kind of a Wuthering Heights kind of vibe. I don't know if that's just me or something about the cover. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm tapping into there. This is The Godstone. This is by G.G. Ross. It looked like I couldn't tell. I couldn't read the font there. G.G. Ross, The Godstone. Thank you for your letter. I appreciate it so much. Now some mystery boxes. I got several of them here, guys. And I don't know where to start. Let's just go smallest to largest here. Okay, look at this. That's fancy, right? Okay, I love these guys. Thank you so much for the work you put into these. They're so much fun. Okay, it looks like it says Wriggly Little Hands by Alex Knight. I recognize that name. We spoke before, I do believe. Got a note here. I'll read that afterwards. And a sticker. I'll read that afterwards. Let's go ahead and open this bad boy here. The brown bag special. That doesn't mean what you think it means. Does it? Does it mean that? If so, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's supposed to be a family channel. Wriggly Little Hands. It looks like one of the Dungeon Crawler Carl covers, doesn't it? Maybe I'm just seeing that everywhere now. Thank you, Alex. It's very, very cool. Next up, it says Riddle Dog on the front. Can't read the writing. That's more because of my eyesight is terrible. Another brown bag special. Kid, I hate to keep using that reference if it doesn't mean what I think it means. Okay. That's what we took to school for lunches when I was a kid because I grew up in poverty. Probably not what it means. Okay, we got some stickers here. Discover your aura and perception aura. Okay. Keychain. You know what's crazy is my mom collects keychains. She always has. So I might send this her way. So Shades of Aura is the series. It is The Calamities of Totterum by Benjamin Campus. I hope I said all that right. If I did, I'd be very, very shocked. So thank you. This looks like from the same deal here. Either that or it's just an uncanny coincidence that I get 2 mystery boxes that look similar. Similar artistry. This is also Shades of R. This is The Walls of Tottenham also by Benjamin Campus. So thank you, Benjamin. I appreciate this. And this one, I peeked at it and I said, that's got to be on camera here. This is nuts, guys. This looks like those cloaks that the Fellowship gets in Fellowship of the Ring. From the Woodland Elves. This is really cool. And Lothlorien. I mean, who doesn't love a good brooch? I mean, it's fantasy fans. I think that's something that we're all going to love, right? How rad is this, man? This is quality too. This isn't cheap. You guys are worried about that. Looks really cool. Oh, let's see here. I think this might be Limbus bread. No, it's not Limbus bread. Darn. But it looks like some kind of pouch. Hopefully this isn't contraband. I don't know, guys. I didn't look at this stuff beforehand. I just peeked in there. It's got something in there. I don't know. I don't know. I really can't tell what it is. This looks like a metal something. Not really sure. I don't know. I have to look at that afterwards. I don't know if I'm supposed to be opening this. Am I tearing it apart right now? Is that what I'm doing? Is it supposed to go on your belt? If that's what just happened, I'm an idiot. But I don't know. I'll look at that closer after the fact here. Got notes. Okay. I'll read that after. He's telling me what the bag is that I just probably ruined. Okay. This is the problem with Unboxings Live. Okay, let's see if I can open this bad boy up here. See if I can do this without actually tearing the buckle. Yes, I can't figure out how to unbuckle it without tearing it, so we're just going to do this. The Ranger of Merchholt by Scaldi. Okay. First I've heard of it, so let's look that up. And like I said, check out that link below. And I'll read your note, and if I just destroyed this bag, I do apologize. Your effort and your presentation quality, 11 out of 10, man. Excellent work. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take a peek now, guys, at some things from some publishers. Okay, first, this is Johnny Geronimo, Art of Darkness. It's by Gary Robinson and art by Dale DeForest. Nice graphic novel here. These are a couple from Baen. I want to thank Jason over at Baen. Anything that I asked for, he's been really, really receptive to. And we'll talk about that more next month because he sent me some Larry Correa stuff I'm going to talk about there. But he sent me Timothy Zahn's The Icarus Code. I believe that's the end of the Icarus series by Timothy Zahn, who Star Wars fans might know. And, of course, Larry Correa's Monster Hunter Guardian. And there are about 1 million Monster Hunter books. I got to kind of get that all kind of figured out about what is what, because I did mention that also in that, what was it, the Urban Fantasy that I'm excited to try. Now, this one's going to kind of spoil some things, guys, because I was talking to Laura over at Daw, and the issue of Tad Williams came up, and she was brilliant, and she sent me all of the new series, the sequence. Now, they sent me the actual hardcover of the final book in The Last King of Ocean Art. So she sent me the rest of them. And this is spoiling something, guys, for 2026. This is going to be a read-along on the channel. We did do Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn a few years back. And I floated the idea of doing this in 2026. And some people said, well, you know, a lot of us are reading Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn in the fall, but we'd be all in if you do it next year. So we are going to be starting. We're going to do both of the prequel books, and then I'll probably do one per month of these the rest of the way. Now, like Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, one of the greatest fantasy series ever. I love it. The more I get away from it, the further I get away from it, rather, the more I love it. And so I'm thinking that this is going to be amazing because a lot of people have told me that Last King of Ocean Art is maybe better than Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. And if that's the case, man, that's awesome. Because I've been saying I've been kind of disillusioned with a lot of modern fantasy, but Tad, he still writes it like classic fantasy. And I'm excited to see. He can be quite wordy, but it's beautiful wordy. Let's put it that way, because books are not short. So that's why we'd be doing, you know, one per month of these, or, you know, just kind of taking our time with it, however we do wish. But I want to thank Laura again. This is super awesome, and I cannot wait to do this next year. It's going to be very, very exciting. Now, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you don't know I have a partnership with The Broken Binding, which means they send me some beautiful, beautiful books, and I can't say thank you enough. And we're going to kind of show those now, but if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do so. The link is down below because I do unboxings for everything that The Broken Binding sends me, and you'll get to see a lot more of what a Broken Binding kind of unboxing entails, and it's just a wonderful thing. Get on their wait list now. I've got that link below if you want to hit them up and get on their wait list to join their subscription service. Let's take a peek at some of those beautiful, beautiful things they did send me. First, the subscription book for the month is book 2 in the Rook and Rose. Is that what it's called? This is Liar's Knot by M.A. Carrick. Again, wow. I don't know anything really about this series, but these books are stunning. And if you want a closer look at them, obviously, like I said, check out my Instagram page and it'll give you a closer look. Everyone's kind of crazy right now about the sequel for Will of the Many by James Islington, and you should be. I'm excited too. But I'm telling everyone, please don't miss out on ℚ𝕦𝕤𝕤𝕤. ℚ𝕦𝕤𝕤𝕤 is a series I loved, and I think you go back to it. I think you quite probably enjoy it. I know that it isn't perfect. It was his debut series, but for me, it's one of those, had an amazing, amazing thread that goes through this whole series. And it's one of those things I think, I don't reread a lot of books, but I might reread these because there's things that you know now that when you go back and read it, you'll be looking for. And to the day, I think this might be one of modern fantasy's best endings I've ever read. It's really an incredible series, and I can't believe they sent me these because you really can't get them anymore. So I was so thankful. Jack over at Broken Binding got in touch with me, and he did send some of these over. I mean, just wow. Wow, what a series. I've talked about it on the channel more than once. I talked about the good and the bad, why I think it would work for some people, why it might not work for others. But I think that if you really got into the Will of the Many and you're itching for more James Islington, I recommend checking this out. Don't listen to the people who just want to hate it because it said, oh, it's like Wheel of Time on the cover. And they went into it with their arms crossed. And they're like, oh, it's not like Wheel of Time. It's not like Wheel of Time. Yeah, it has magic in it. I don't think that makes it like Wheel of Time. I think it's definitely its own. This quote right here. Love the Wheel of Time. This is about to be your new favorite series. So everybody went into it pissed, like feeling like they had to be like, no, it's not like Wheel of Time. It's not. I would not compare it to Wheel of Time at all. I think Brandon Sanderson readers will like it a lot. The magic system isn't quite as dominant as it would be in a Brandon Sanderson series, but this series does a plot device. I don't want to tell you what it is because I feel like that's a spoiler. It does a plot device in it. I've only seen a few others do as good. And it's one of those where it's like you will be like Charlie on Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the pegboard, with connecting all the threads, because there are so many in here that you'll be trying to figure out along the way. Great, great series. One that I had actually heard of a lot but never really got into is the Hain God trilogy by, is it Tilda Cold Holt? Tilda Cold Holt. I always want to get her name wrong. These to me just look like John Gwynne books. And honestly, that's what got me interested in them. Is they look like John Gwynne books, but as obviously it's playing off of some Viking history, and that's something I can never, ever get enough of. These are absolutely beautiful. And when it comes to Broken Binding, man, a lot of times their covers are just so damn gorgeous. You want to read them just because the covers are beautiful. I think that happens. What is it? Never judge a book by its cover unless it's awesome. Well, if that's the case, you're going to read everything that Broken Binding ever sends to you because, wow. But this is a series I really haven't heard a lot of feedback on because it seems like it's really kind of flown under the radar. But it's one I'm interested in giving a go because in the end, anything that's got some Vikings in it, I'm usually pretty interested in at least giving it a try. And lastly, when I talked about some series that are most recommended from my viewing audience, a series that comes up quite a lot, and people are actually surprised I haven't actually, like, I've been looking for your channel for your reviews of these, but I don't see them. Have you actually not read Powder Mage? This is awesome. Another one of those that I didn't think I was going to be able to get a hold of, and again, Jack is just amazing. Jack and Matt and his team at Broken Binding, they do such kind things for me, and I cannot say thank you enough. These are amazing. Again, check out the Instagram if you want to see full unboxings for these because, man, it was one of those I had to actually edit it down because it was so long because I kept showing these off. But man, what a cover. I mean, I don't know. The series seems like it gets mixed reactions. Some people love it. Some people are not wild about it. But I think something that that has been improperly applied to it is some people will say, oh, it's like Sanderson light. And that chases people like me off because I've got Brandon Sanderson. Why do I need a light version of his? For this, it sounds like it's just the Napoleonic Wars, and it's just kind of written in a fantasy format. That's cool. Don't know. I've never read Brian McKellen, but I think that it's something I want to give a try. And I wanted to give it a try before these amazing covers, clearly. But it doesn't hurt that these covers and to be able to read from an edition this beautiful and this stunning. So thank you again to Matt and his team, Jack at Broken Binding. You guys are just a blessing. I cannot say thank you enough. And you guys are doing incredible work. And for everybody who's very frustrated you can't get onto the waiting list for Broken Binding, well, get on it now because I think it'll move faster than you think it will. But get on it now instead of just dreading that you're like, 2000th in line. I think it'll pop up faster than you think. But get on it now, and that way when it does pop up, you will be ready. So there are a couple things from some viewers I want to talk about next. Maybe necessarily would say this is from viewers, because it's from my wife. And she paid for us to go to a signing for John Green. And he was talking about his new book, Everything is Tuberculosis. Now, John Green, I read Paper Towns last month. I loved it a lot. And I said I'd read more of him. I don't know that I'll be doing some nonfiction stuff, which is what this is. But very intelligent guy. I think his comedic timing is underrated. He's got really good comedic timing. I think a lot of people came up on his crash course history videos on YouTube. I know they watch him in a lot of junior highs and things like that. That seems very interesting. But as far as John Green, I'll read more of his fiction stuff. But this one from the signing did get. And this last one from a viewer is just something that, wow. I mean, I don't even really know how to go about this. I joked with my wife, when a viewer asks you your shoe size, should I read anything into that? And some people know that I am a sneakerhead as well. Obviously, I love books. I love collecting physical media. It's a weakness. It is. One of my passions is actually sneakers. I'm not a sneaker snob. I love Puma. I love Nike. I have Reeboks. You know, I have Adidas. I have all kinds. I just love sneakers. I think it. One of those things that, you grow up a little poor and you dream of having a pair of Jordans. And you get to the point in life where you actually can buy some of these things and, you kind of maybe go a little overboard on that. And I got this really, really interesting note from a viewer. It says, "Hi, Mike. I know you probably aren't House Slytherin, but I just couldn't fathom sending you bright red or bright purple shoes. I thought dark green would work for most anyone. I know it when it comes to shoes, you are like me and you shout Accio sneakers. I hope you like these, Miriam." Yes, Miriam, I did like these. And we're going to show it to you now. First, these come in an amazing treasure box. Harry Potter, all kinds of stuff. It's got all the house sigils on it. It's wow. And then you open it up and it gets crazier. How nuts is this? So these are Pumas. You got the Harry Potter wrap. You got all the house sigils. Really amazing stuff here. And when I saw the sneakers, I said, oh my goodness, I didn't even know these existed. Now, they look like Quidditch sneakers, I think, but they have a thing where you can actually remove this part of it if you want to. But how wicked is this? Yeah, so my kid, I always joke that he looks like Malfoy. And so he's always like, no, I don't. But when he saw these, he's like, oh, yeah, that sounds cool. So when these fit, and by the way, found the golden snitch. Didn't know it was hiding there. Yeah, so you can take this part off if you want, just wear it as a regular sneaker. See, it's got the Puma tag right here. These are so damn cool, man. I don't even know what to say. I didn't even know these things get made, so I don't want to know how much you paid for this. But these are incredible. Thank you so much. I don't know what to say outside of you are a blessing. Thank you. I will wear these. Absolutely. I have a work shirt that is this same dark green color that I'll be wearing to match with. It's going to be amazing. I probably would have wore the Gryffindor ones. I don't know if I could pull off the Ravenclaw ones. That would have been a little too much. I do have a pair of purple Nike SBs, I think. But I think I can only wear those with like a certain shirt that I have or something like that. So I haven't worn very much. But yeah, purple is a little hard for me to pull off. I think dark green, you can wear black probably with these and get away with it. But yeah, I do love sneakers, and these do fall underneath that umbrella there. So thank you, Miriam. You are the best. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who sent me some this month. You guys continue to be just absolutely incredible and selfless and kind and caring. And I can't say thank you enough. So drop in the comments, guys. Let me know everything that you got in March. I'd love to know what some things you got. If you want to know more about these, like I said, hit me up on the Instagram page. You can get a closer look at probably everything that I've shown here today. I'll take some pictures of these now. So I just wanted to do this unboxing for the video here because these are just so cool, and I just want everybody to see how amazing these are. So drop in the comments, guys. Let me know what you got in the month of March, and I will talk to you there.